How is everything going, my fellow gamers? Good evening, and welcome to another fantastic and wonderful Warcraft Wednesday. Wednesday nights dedicated to diving into Azeroth, making it happen, getting the catch up, getting everything kind of consolidated for the Midnight Pass release that is coming out here, or I should say the Midnight Expansion coming out here in just another few weeks. What a day. It's been somewhat of a crazy day for me, but always enjoyable here on the Gulf Coast. Nothing too crazy going on. Almost forgot what I was even wanting to do tonight. Been spending a lot of extra time today working on getting things actually uploaded to YouTube. So I'm taking a whole different approach versus the norm of what you typically normally see when it comes to um, individuals and streaming and shorts and highlights and all that stuff. What I'm essentially doing is taking videos that I've taken the streams, and all I'm doing is creating chapter markers, and I'm just uploading the entire stream. I tried doing cut and editing because I used to do that stuff. It's not complicated, um, but what I'd preferably like to do, instead of just chopping up an entire stream into a bunch of just a quick little segment that doesn't really showcase anything, it's actually easier for me just to upload the entire stream. But of course, adding chapter markers and descriptions. That way, if you were to go to the YouTube or anybody who goes to the YouTube channel, they can sit there and they can hit very specific points in the stream, so they're not sitting there. So if you want to watch a 5-minute segment or a 5-hour segment, you can do all that good stuff. So I uploaded what I worked on Saturday night for Star Citizen, working my C2 triple haul to went to Levski with a triple haul in my C2, which is cool because Friday I lost the whole ship. And then today I was able to upload one of my streams from December 28th when I was doing the iRacing. It was day 3, and I was doing the IRX Daytona Rallycross. And that's when, about 2 hours in, I had old boy come in and help me out. So anyway, I uploaded that stream. I got another one from iRacing I'm going to upload tonight, and then they're going to get published in the morning. And if Ryan jumps on tonight real quick, I'm going to make sure I remind him and say, hey, man, I'm loading that up, because so basically I've got 2 streams in a row where somebody jumps in the chat and actually helps me out, which I think just reinforces one of the key positive aspects of, gaming outside of all the garbage that exists. Okay, so here's what we're doing tonight. Is we're doing some campaign catch up, and we're going to be working on Visions of the Shadowed Sun, and see how far we get with that tonight, because I know sometimes these campaign catch ups can last a hot minute. So once I kind of showcase a little bit what I was doing at the house, and then we'll head on up to we'll get back to Dortor, and then, or Dornogol, sorry, and then we'll start that one. And I did some recording. I did the Lore Walker campaign, and then I went back to Windrunner and ended up doing the longer version of what the Lore Walker catch-up did. So I ended up doing both, but it worked out because I got extra rep. I got some, ended up getting some decent gear that was higher than what I normally had. So I got 100 there, some 98s, 98. So actually doing all that kind of paid off a little bit, as far as like getting gear just a little bit more snug in tune for midnight, which of course will make things just a little bit easier. So some of these I probably won't mind going through with my alts, but there's no way I'm going to do like the longer campaigns with every single alt. And then what I did during the week is on my off time, I just did, so the other campaign stuff that I worked on, I did a separate just recording on. So I wasn't streaming or anything. I was just recording it because I really wanted to do is just the playback and also get the cinematics. I gotta remember where. Yep, there it is. That one. So the lore walker, finished that one up. I did the one next to Kadgar. I gotta say that final cinematic, when they went back to the remains of Dalaran and they did that send off, that was pretty neat, and it just kind of a bit of a nostalgia for me, because when you think about things that happened in previous expansions, and then like so much time goes by, and then we're picking up where we left off like a year ago or 2 years ago, kind of like from Shadowlands to now, when Anduin, um, for lack of a better word, did his hiatus, and like so we were missing him for about a year before he came back, and the cinematics leading up to the War Within, it was just. But seeing the Dalaran thing made a lot of sense, because even then, I remember watching that when Zelatath, uh, watching that explode was like, good grief, dude, that is nuts. And we all remember, it's like remembering when that first showed up, and that first popped up on scene, and
my Aunt Varisa has been experiencing visions from the Radiant Song. They're dire, but hazy. We hope that being near the core way can bring more clarity to them. Will you meet us on the Isle of Dorn?
Sure. That's what this is all about, bro. I think I need to turn my mic down just a little bit. I'm going to turn the game music down just a little bit more too, just so that... Okay, I think that'll work. I want it to be there, but not like overpowering and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, getting back to the cinematics that ended with the send off at Dalaran with the boats and when all the mages were there, and then the rehash to say now that Dalaran's gone, we're gonna kind of start over again, and that was a pretty neat set of cinematics, because again, it reminds me when Dalaran first showed up in the game, and that's before when Ironforge was like the spot to be, especially on a weekend. Like you go to Ironforge and it was just packed with players. It was absolutely insane. And now it's like a ghost town practically. Once in a while I'll still go back there and see what's what. Oh, okay. And we're going to be rocking, Night Elf Rogue, my character, Artis Gratia. At some point I will use one of my alts, because I have, so the custom frames, the frame that you see with the rogue symbol and the character's name, I've made a custom frame for all my other ones. So I have like a dedicated hunter frame, priest, and paladin, and warrior frame with the characters' names on it.
Sooner.
Peace, friend. Light bless you.
We stand together. Together we will save. Even this close to the core way, I cannot trigger my visions on command. So, while we wait, we've come here to pay our respects. Mine are long overdue. Ronin gave me this locket on our first anniversary. Seemed an apt offering for the home where we raised our family.
He loved you with all of his heart.
As he did you, Arator. Come, that cliff to the north looks like a good place.
And I don't know how long this is going to take or what it is. I just...
Will do nicely.
My bow is at the ready.
You know what? I'm going to do this real quick.
Ronan.
Barisa!
Arator? Where are you? No! The screams! The horror! Stop! It's too much! I cannot bear to see this! Stop! Stop! No!
Shalna! Come back to us!
Give out of the Twilight's blade! Kill the Windrunners!
Well, them sound like fighting words, my man.
Fight well.
All right, what do we got? All right. Take him out.
The vision. I can't.
Don't worry. The champion and I will deal with this.
I still got a little bit more time on. You know, something, hopefully I'll remember to talk about it later, but my frames, frames blocking it. Anyway, the bubbling wax and how I was able to get that to coat the weapon with. Kind of an interesting little backstory with that one. And a reminder of it, you know, doing all of the quests. Oh, there we go. I was like, ooh.
Good day to you. Do not lose faith.
All right, let's see here.
The Twilight's blade. They must be the threat from my
Probably popped that one a little bit too soon. You know, one of the things I need to do
These
is
cultists resemble the Twilight's hammer. Looks
um,
like they found a new doomsday to chase.
kind of get my macros back to. So I still don't really, you know, after, you know, since before Burning Crusade, but I still don't really have a grasp on. I've never done a macro thing before. Never really got into that. I did it once just to kind of figure out when I was doing some arena stuff. And I understand the concept. It's basically replaces all trying to have to make sure you hit everything in a certain sequence because it programs all that anyway.
Given their name, I think it's obvious that these fanatics now serve Zalatath. No matter what their goals are,
All right,
the Twilight
where's...
Blade must be stopped.
Get this knocked out and then...
If these Twilight Winds cannot defeat you, then I will!
You can try, but I don't like your eyes.
Steady travels.
Despite her hesitance to discuss it, my mother is Azeroth's foremost expert with the Void.
That Psy cartel has lost control of the docks. I need someone competent to sort it out for them.
This place, this world, the Void seems to permeate everything.
Skip location. All right.
I have a few people to ask. One of them must know where we can find Alaria.
At last, we return to Karesh. Alaria. She is not in the city, and so she is not my concern.
How helpful of you. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I forgot about that. Tell you what, we're going to load up.
wish to trade? I'm afraid I don't know where Aleria is, but her colleague Umbric frequents the northern terraces.
Champion, Arator, what brings you to Koresh?
Glad you asked. Quite a bit, actually.
Baladash, Malanore. I will gather my people and return to Azeroth. You'll be there to help, Arator.
Thank you, Umbric. With both you and my mother, Silvermoon will surely be safeguarded.
The Wastelanders are murderers and thieves. Plus, the last time they entered the Oasis, they stepped on a dozen endangered flowers. Deal with them harshly.
Mother?
Now I've got... Arator! What are you doing here? The void devours all.
Looking for you!
Beware her manipulations. Is this true? Farisa had a vision of Azeroth being attacked?
Yes. The vision wasn't quite clear, but she said some of the buildings resembled Silvermoon. If Quel'Thalas is in danger, it is our family's responsibility to defend it.
Arator, I'm exiled from Silvermoon. My mere presence would place the Sunwell in danger. This is where I need to be, hunting Xalatath's lieutenants and tearing her secrets from their minds. Danger lurks. Champion, you take the lead. Arator, stay close. The observers here can see through my shroud.
What's so important here that you can't return to Azeroth? Even Umbric has recalled the Riftwalkers.
All the more reason for me to remain. After Locust Walk, correct? Few can hunt the prey I'm after, and fewer still can extract their knowledge. It has to be me.
If you won't help, I'll ask Sylvannas.
Absolutely not. You'd risk your soul in the Maw only to have her refuse.
Oh, the good old Maw.
Farisa thinks she'd return to defend Silvermoon.
Farisa! Always saw the best in her. There he is.
Let's hide behind those barrels next to him.
Quiet. Here he comes.
Be on the lookout. Our
Oh, all right.
Follow me. Now we know where Vasheen will be. Time to set a new trap. Arator and I will wait for you in Shandora.
All right.
Be prepared, champion. Venari will want something in exchange for the cage.
With funding comes salvation. Do my senses deceive me? Is that really you?
Cover 6 artifacts.
To hurry, you want a cage, and I want, well, what I want. After all, nothing is for free in this world, or any other.
And we're just sticking to the campaign stuff. I'm not going to be bouncing around trying to grab up smaller quests or anything. I just want to get this knocked out and kind of see where we're sitting. Oh, that definitely sped things up a little bit. And that's why I do like using a warrior and paladin, because that was the first time I got into any or tanking. And it's kind of nice when you can pull like an entire mob and then just kind of sit back and get it all done. Let's see, I need... Once in a while, you can get in there and just kind of sneak attack something without attracting any attention to yourself. Well, this one, I'm not going to be able to do that. Actually. Oh, never mind.
I swore an oath to restore my word. My fortune for the word that was. Kill cage, as promised. I will even include a portation tag, free of charge. Do give my regards to Alaria.
I will do that.
Good. You're back with the cage. Now we captured the sheen.
By the way, Venari sends her regards.
There is much left to do.
We can Shadow Lord Rasheen and then place Venari's portation tag on him to teleport him to Alaria's cage. Okay.
You'll have to weaken Vasheen for the tag to work. Try not to kill him.
Don't worry. I'm perfectly capable of holding back when needed. I'll see you back down there.
Thought there was going to be something a little bit more dramatic going on there.
You think your mastery over the void surpasses mine?
Don't assume that. Champion, place the foci. They should limit Vashin's power.
What do you hope to accomplish against me?
He's stronger than I thought. Champion, come lend me your power. Where is Salatath? Where is her army?
I am the master here. You are nothing else.
I see it in your mind. The devouring host, lurking in the void. Whatever they call themselves, they can't hide from me.
It's enough interference from you, Festling.
Watch out!
How disappointing. Let's see how your offspring fares.
Arator! No!
Champion, help me turn his power back against him!
Greetings.
Your son will die quickly, Ilaria. Then I deal with you.
We're almost there! Keep pushing!
You cannot defeat me, boy! I will crush you!
Salatath will take nothing more from me!
Did you get the information you needed?
I got enough.
Ah, I see you put my materials to good use.
Honor to you.
Oh, wow.
Silvermoon needs the Windrunner sisters. If he won't come back, then I have to seek out Sylvannas.
Arator, I know I can't stop you. Just don't lose yourself in the maw.
Oh, I think we should go. I missed them all. Oh man, that was my jam. Oh, we are going.
Anything of interest, Walker?
I knew we were headed there. Good grief. That's what I'm talking
Discover
about.
more secrets. Then we can talk.
I swear, Arator. Sometimes you're as stubborn as your father.
And as rebellious as you.
Oh, so this is payback then? For all the times I disobeyed my own mother.
I wish I could have known her.
She was stern, but loving. She too wanted me to remain in Quel'Thalas, to defend its borders, as was our family's duty. But I wanted to leave the kingdom, so I did. And by the time I came home, Sylvannas took up the mantle of Ranger General after our mother died, and And we all know how that turned out. If I had stayed,
You couldn't have known any of those things would happen.
Perhaps not. But they did happen. And they can't be undone. That holds true for my choices. And even more so for Sylvannas. Remember that when you go to see her. Who can we trust? The Shadow God will not prevail.
I've not seen Tazavesh for eons.
Oh, I thought I'd already... I guess I already opened that one up.
Demencius will not claim our world again.
Once in a while, I just like taking the in-flight system, just let it do its thing, and nice. I still haven't really done anything as far as like the housing quest or the endeavors, and that's something I'm probably going to work on. Once I finish out like the campaign stuff, then I'll kind of get back to the basics. I'll do the delves, which I really enjoyed when the War Within first came out, and then work on the endeavors for housing and some stuff I was actually working on.
The cartel has lost control of the docks. I need someone competent to sort it out for them.
Also, for those of you that have Discord, there was a Discord quest specific to Warcraft where all you had to do was jump on for about 15 minutes with your Discord open, and then you got another, and I haven't gone to the mailbox to collect it yet. Actually, I want to see if there's any... So I'm not familiar with this area, so I have no idea where any... But we'll do that. We'll collect that little thing and then add that to the decor. Oh, and that quest, the Witness of the Kirin Tor, that was the one with Kadgar and going back to the Dalaran wreck site and doing some questing there and watching the send-off that they did. It was pretty neat. And you just got that title. I think the whole thing only took about an hour.
Opening a gateway to the Maw is possible, though I would not call it advisable. Step over there and activate the gateway.
Well, let's do it.
It once allowed for passage between the Shadowlands and the realms of the living. It can do so again.
I'm glad they're not done with that. I'm glad that still is part of... not well, the fact that you can just go back and still do it, but...
Travel back and forth, but I suggest you not linger in the Maw.
Yes. Oh man, that's all I'm talking about. Dude, this place is rough. Loved every minute of it. Alright, let's see. Where are we, by the way? Oh, I forgot I had some stuff. You know what? We're gonna have to take a trip back to Sinfall. Anyway, all right. Let's stick to the plan here. The reason why I like the Maw so much.
Nothing could have prepared me to see this.
The reason why I like the Maw so much, and the other reason why I liked the Torghast, I think that was the tower, because it really kind of forced everyone to get back to the basics of how to play your character, and it really helped me even better understand how to play the rogue character.
For justice.
So are we done with this?
Carry
Or
on
is this
the
a whole?
crusade.
Let's see what we got here. I'll tell you what, first things first, let's get cool, another mount. That freaked me out for a quick second there. Like,
Light bless you. Honor to you. May the light guide you.
yeah, I totally missed like everything related to Undermine. I just got in there. I was gonna link up with the Black Wall. I still can't say it with a straight face. Oh my goodness. So what's this one down here? Let's. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I feel like I need to kind of continue doing this because I don't know which one. Torghast, okay. Tell you what, just for the sake of continuity.
Good day to you. Do not give up the fight. May your
I don't know how the devouring host got into the Maw, or what they want, but I know we can't let them stay here.
Oh, I forgot I had that option. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot about that. And that actually still follows with you in game. Oh my goodness. As you can see, my inner nerd is kind of coming out of my pores here. And I was just talking about the rune table back at your particular sanctum that you were a part of. All right, got to focus on what's going on here. Alright, well that solves that one. Let's knock out this percentage and... So I have it set up where, oh yeah, the 40 stacks you'll gain. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, we're at 51. I've noticed too that everything's been wound down again, so we're not doing like 1,000,000 points per hit and all that stuff. Let's see, what is... There we go. Stick to the general area, finish this up, get back, and then see what the next batch is going to be all about. You know what I feel like doing is going back and finishing. I was working on the can't even think of it.
That sound. Do you hear it too?
I did not, good sir.
Honor to you. Good day to you. May the light guide you.
Find the source of this strange melody.
Follow that sound.
Alright, well, let's figure it out. Come on, battle buddy. What is causing me to break stealth?
There's no mistaking it. She must be close. Sylvannas.
Well, well.
Lyrith? No. Arator, what are you doing here?
No way. Actually, just in case this turns into a side cinematic.
When I last saw you, that sword would have been too heavy for you to lift.
It stayed that way for a time. Lorthamar was a harsh taskmaster, but his training regimen paid off. Now I use that strength to protect our world. I've come to ask you to do the same, as the Ranger General you once were.
A man grown, but still a child at heart. This is no place for such sentiment, Arator. But neither is it a place for the Void. Let's put Lorthamar's vaunted training to the test.
Light bless you. Steady travels.
It was foolish of you to come here. But now that you have, you can assist with ending this incursion.
Yeah, let's do it.
She's off. Just like Mother.
Man, Sylvannas back in the house, man. Let's see, I need to... Okay, I guess that's where we're headed.
Struggling to keep pace, Arator?
Please, this is merely a brisk workout.
May your heart be true.
Is this a bad time to mention that I'm not terribly fond of heights?
What about there? It is.
How's this for keeping pace?
Kill it, and their reinforcements will cease. It is done.
Good. Sylvannas, we need to...
Not here. Come. It's time for you to leave, Arator.
I'm not going anywhere until we've had a chance to talk.
You tell her, Arator.
If you insist on staying here, I'll put you to work.
For justice.
I still can't believe what Sylvannas was able to get away with burning the world tree. Watching that, because I missed all of that with the expansion and everything. Anyway, yeah, I missed out that whole thing, and then watching all of those cinematics and catching up and watching that happen was like just absolutely crazy. Okay, we need... Okay.
The war chief leads us to victory.
Rest, brave warrior. The horde stands. It will never fall.
Then it's over. Thank the Earth Mother.
I never took you for such a loyalist.
I told him what he needed to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just we'll make a note of that. Save it for later. Do I need more of these? Yes, I do. I'm glad I kept going. else do I need? Thought I need another one of those flowers. Yep. And 6. Oh.
Monster! Traitor!
Sylvannas, look out!
Hold. Let them quell their rage. Come. There is more to do.
Has the Banshee Queen come to finish what she started? You had me executed. You twisted Derek's mind. I would rather suffer for eternity than have you grant me peace.
If that is what you wish, come, Arator. We still have more to do.
Save the children! Teldrassil burns!
There we go. I was waiting for that one.
Mother Moon, I hear you. Please, save us from this torment.
I hope your goddess awaits you beyond the Maw.
That was pretty cool during Dragonflight that the elves were able to get a new spot. I thought more would have, and I probably need to check, but I thought more would have kind of come out of that story, considering they have to start all over again. Whoops. There we go. But I remember, and this is before I could record everything, so I was taking a bunch of screenshots and like selfies with everybody that was there, and it was just kind of like a cool little get together. And
He follows me and then departs, only to return again later.
Greetings.
Sylvannas. That was...
Enough. You wish to talk, so talk. Why have you come here?
Good day to you. Do not lose faith. Do not give up the fight.
Sylvannas, Azeroth is in danger. The people of...
And the people of Teldrassil? How would they feel about my return?
Oh, not too welcoming, I can guarantee you that
You've
one.
done terrible things. I won't deny that. But what good is penance if it leads to more harm? I've seen what you do for the souls who are trapped here. I could vouch for you. Help convince...
Your fellow paladins may call you the Redeemer, but I do not seek redemption. I have worn many titles myself. Ranger General, Dark Lady, Banshee Queen, War Chief. I set them all aside when I descended into the Maw. My place, my duty, is here. Not among the living. You say Quell the Lost needs a Windrunner. So go, Arator. Be a Windrunner.
Sylvannas. Very well. I think I understand.
I'm still trying to get that horse off of Stratholme. Still trying to get in there and get after it. Man, I've gone in that thing probably a couple hundred times for that 1% drop. Yeah, I was going to say, if they brought her back out of the Maw already, there's no way. I wouldn't even vouch for her at Teldrassil. That just would not happen. Being a night elf. That was... I remember with the animation that they used, and even the... I don't remember what orc it was, but even he was like, are you kidding me? There's no honor in this.
Thank you for tempering my nephew's exuberance. He's skilled, but tends to rush into danger. It runs in the family. Arator is
Touché.
honest about one thing. I am a Windrunner. And I have not forgotten where I came from. But as I told him, now is not the time for me to return to the world of the living. You have noticed, have you not? The Maw, the Shadowlands, all of it. The question that has plagued me since the jailer's demise. I know the truth of death better than most. This, it is too convenient, too ordered. I have made many foes on the path that brought me here. Most of them once called me an ally. I do not regret the choices I've made. Nor do I bear ill will toward those who met me with their fangs bared. But know this, I cannot stop now. I must not stop now. Or all I have done will have been for naught. Return to Azeroth, fight the battles ahead of you. One day our paths will cross again.
And I still remember her backstory, how she became how she was because of Arthas, and watching that whole sequence go down. And but man, did she take a high dive off the deep end? Okay, return to Koresh. Copy that. I'm glad I stuck around and finished that off. That was seeing Sylvannas again, and man.
That Spy cartel has lost control of the dogs. I need someone competent to sort it out for them.
For justice. Do not give up the fight. Greetings. May your heart be true.
Greetings. I haven't done anything in this area yet, so.
Honor to you. May the light guide you.
I take it you spoke to her?
And she refused, just as you said she would.
Of course she did. Sylvannas is...
She's a bit like you, to be honest.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I didn't mean... I know that for a long time you feared that you would become like her. Led astray by a dark force that eclipsed you, becoming less and less yourself. But Mother, what I saw in her today, she's a windrunner, the same as you. Driven by a sense of sacrifice and duty, enduring personal hardship for the sake of those you wish to protect, and refusing to follow anyone's path but your own. I think you're more alike than you realize.
You always see the best in people, Arator. Farisa truly was the one to raise you. I will have to thank her for that.
I'll pass it along to her for you.
Take care, my precious Arator. Guard Sylvannas well, as a windrunner.
You know, having listened to them, I'm just gonna go on a limb and have my own little theory here about where a storyline would go for Sylvannas, because of everything that she's done. I can't see her just getting pulled out of the mall and like, okay, well, all is forgiven kind of deal. What would be interesting, because if we go back to how she became the way that she was, because her interaction with Arthas and being tainted by Frostmourne, it would be interesting if her path to redemption somehow included her being, and I'm not going to say this the right way, but being cleansed of the, you know, whatever you want to call it, right? That I could see, and getting rid of the essence of the Banshee Queen, that kind of thing. And then I could see her becoming on a path of, you know, linking up back with her sister and becoming back like the Windrunner sisters are back at it, and somehow that placates into the third. That would be cool for the third half of Midnight. So Midnight, she's still doing her thing. Somehow she's cleansed and she comes back for the third expansion. And that would be neat. Now that's just my own little, having watched this little sequence, because remembering all that stuff from back when. And again, I'm one of those nerds that loves just going through all of the storyline, the cinematics. When they say to stay and speak a while, even if it's not part of an actual quest, I'll do it just to kind of get a feel for where the dialogue is going. And it sounds like they have the same voice actress for Sylvannas too, which is pretty neat. But so that's my thing. Like, her coming back would be cool. It would be, that in itself would be its own grandioso type of deal. Having her actually, I'm just going to call it cleansed and reunited. That would be something for the Night Elves. I'm not crying, you're crying. So what I'm going to do is take that segment and put that on there, and like my theory about Sylvannas, and I'm going to try and cut it to where it's this quest line, and then this is probably what I'll make like a highlight reel about. Instead of playing this whole thing out, it would be this would be like a specific highlight reel, and say, hey, you know, going through this sequence again and seeing her again, and everyone's talking about redemption and her absolution and all that. All right, so Yeah, I did the long version quests with Ilaria. I did the Witness of the Kirin Tor quest line is with Kadgar, and that's where you go back to Dalaran and have that send off, which is really neat. That was a cool little, and I did that on my off time. So I just recorded all the sequences, and then you come back and they're talking. So it'd be cool to see where Kadgar fits into Midnight, and then into that third expansion. I forget what the third one's called, but a redemption style storyline for Sylvannas. Because just sort of like my opinion from a lore standpoint, as long as she still has the taint of Frostmourne, the stigma of everything that's happened will never go away. Especially Teldrassil. And if anybody doesn't know that storyline, I think that goes back to Battle of Azeroth, which is an expansion that I missed, but watch the cinematic on that, because I found that out by accident. I just went back and things looked all different, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? And then they played the recap, what happened, and they played that whole animation sequence, and it was just like,
Greetings.
I was literally like jaw dropped. Oh, cool. Let's
in service. Please.
Oh, you will serve me. I went to a lot of trouble imbuing this bauble with untold power. Now yours shall be added.
For 100,000 years, I have planned for this moment. Let the way be opened to my prize.
Good grief. Getting intense. Midnight's definitely going to be no joke. Gonna have a work cut out for us. Thank you for accompanying me on this adventure, Artist Gradia. It got a bit out of hand, but I think it was worth making all the same. I hope that the warnings we dispensed were enough. Now that Xalatath has her army and the power of a Void Lord, I can only imagine what terror she's planning to enact. Yeah. You and me both, my brother.
Do not lose.
So, you've seen them both then. I'm sorry you couldn't sway them.
Got a lot going on here. Ready for midnight. Complete the final chapter. Oh, okay, that was the nice.
Choose to walk alone, but I can respect their decisions. I can't imagine what each of them has gone through. My own life has been tranquil by comparison.
As was Illyria's wish, that you enjoyed the halcyon youth that we never could.
A wish you granted 1,000 times over. She wanted to thank you for that.
Yes, well, perhaps one day she'll thank me in person. Now come, Arator. Teldrassil awaits.
This game is something else, man. It never disappoints. I just watched the YouTube video 2 days ago, and some guy was like, "I've never seen so less a hype for an expansion." I'm like, dude, oh, that drives me crazy. People keep doing that nonsense. I'm definitely gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually, since this was the final campaign, it was only about an hour, and I'm gonna stop the recording. Well, I'll stop the recording a little bit, but about an hour and 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna upload the whole thing and then have my little take on what I think might happen with Sylvannas. But I don't know. I'm a little pumped right now because this game just doesn't disappoint. It just keeps going, and I have a blast with it. And I mean, as you can see, I have like just a crazy enthusiasm for it. Let's see. So that was okay. Okay, this one right here. I don't remember. Meeting with. I guess I don't remember doing the other two. Yeah, Witness of the Kirin Tour. That was a. If anybody hasn't had a chance to do that one, get that one done in Dornogol. That is definitely that pieces together. Really, the culmination of Dalaran, even when it first showed up in the game, when that became like a separate place you could go hang, and that became like the new spot to hang out and all the quests, and then that became another piece of the other expansions. So now I'm not one of these individuals that has like my pulse on like the depth of the lore of everything. It's just a lot of the key elements of things that have happened over the last, since before Burning Crusade. I can kind of, give you a rough idea on. There's other channels out there where people can just go for days on lore and this and that and the history and stuff and all that. So, dude, that was not disappointing at all. All right, where are we? In fact, okay, so now I realize that I did the last piece. Like, this is part of the other, the campaign for Undermine. And I already know, looking at the storyline with the Lore Walker one, where I'm going to kind of fit into place there, and then the Knife's Edge. Continue the campaign by accepting, this crash. Man, that is something. Man, this just is not disappointing. All right, so since I did that one, and we're good. Oh, let me find the mailbox, because I need to get that thing that I got from the Discord quests. Where am I? I used to know my way around really good, but okay, yeah, I know where I am now. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Transmog and getting yourself fixed up. Oh, thank you, Blizzard, for putting this little thing in there where you can just automatically get rid of your junk. Okay. No, I don't need those. Well, I guess I didn't get it. Oh, never mind. It was a. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh, I can't remember now. But I got that mount. that was the Blanchy. Ah, darn, I can't remember. But that was the first mount that I got when Shadowlands kicked off. Let's find. Oh man, I cannot remember. Now it looks like I have a lot like 209, but that's really a minuscule amount of mounts comparison to what other people have. Like I've watched what's his name, Asmongold. I've watched his mount competition things that he used to have. I don't know if he does that anymore, but it is absolutely insane seeing the scale of playability that some people have with the mounts that they have, and the rarity of some of these mounts that people have been able to successfully get. Oh, excuse me. Ah, there it is. Blanchy. San Runner Blanchy. And a flying mount too, which I thought was pretty cool. But that was the first mount I got in Shadowlands, and then the second one was the basket. And you had to do a quest line and collect a bunch of stuff and all that, but that was the second one that I got. That's pretty neat. Sorry, I saw that and that kind of brought me back. So everybody's like, man, this guy is such a nerd, man. This is crazy. Look at him. All right, let's get back to housing because I'm curious to see, or actually, I could probably check from here. Now, that's cool that you can do an automatic thing that, like, you don't have to try and fight another portal or get another rune stone and have to do all that stuff. Home sweet home. That trailer that Warcraft released where it had like the it was so hilarious. It was awesome, man. It had the rogue and she was doing this stuff and it sounded so epic, like it was about to launch in like a new patch or something. And then she was like getting all crazy because she got like this piece of stuff for the home. It was another deal for the home decor and home sweet home, and but it was awesome because it just happened to be a rogue. So there you go. I haven't really done much. From I think the first stream I ever did was I grabbed the house and started doing a little bit of things, and the only things I kind of worked on was expanding the rooms a little bit, getting the flooring and the walls, trying to really kind of understanding the decor, put up a couple more paintings just because. Whoops. And then of course you get the portal. And the only thing I did in here in the room was put the light fixture in, the chair, and then I actually put in the shelves and some of the book stuff. Kind of just reemphasizes I'm a bit of a nerd, and we're always learning, always learning. So that's just kind of like my little thing here, and that's really about it. I haven't really done too much as far as like expanding the house because I'm only still a level 2. So I need to work on that. And trying to look through all the stuff that I've collected. Or some of the stuff you automatically get because of certain achievements that you have. Which, of course, is going to be very limited because I haven't done a whole lot. Excuse me, bartender shells. Probably figure something out there. That's right, I got a bunch of elven stuff from one of the decor salespeople in the neighborhood square there. That's right, I was going to set up like a dining area or something. I know you can like resize and you can make stuff float and all this stuff. And there's some really awesome designs. People have gone like above and beyond within the skill, like of how, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's not important. Because I still use my Garrison. I'm still all about that. What I would do is I still have one of my my Garrison Heathstone, the old Dalaran Heathstone, and of course Stormwind. But I still use my Garrison. I would go to the mine, collect everything once a week, and then go to let's just take a trip. Warlords of Draenor. Oh, that was a cool cinematic, the way that opened up. Whew, man, it has been a hot minute. What's going on, everybody? Okay. Yeah, I changed out some things right before housing came into the mix. Sometimes I was still doing this stuff just for points and equipping a follower, because sometimes when I would just even go out into the area, I'd still equip a follower. And it's been a while. Still got almost maxed out resources.
What brings you here?
Ooh, just catching up, brother. Catching up. I remember all that. Where's that little stash of? There they are. I gotta figure out what these are for, other than you can equip something in there. Another one of those that's, you know, just one of the, I'm behind on everything, so I had that ring, I got rid of that. This was just some of the other, I had separated my PvP stuff. Get back to that later. You know, the one statue thing I was able to. Yeah, here we go. So what I would do is work orders for the garden. I would come in here once a week for the reset, and I would collect everything because my it's not going to show it anyway. So this is maxed out. So come in once a week, grab all this stuff up, grab up the work order. Then I would come over here to the mine. Oh, what's up, bro? Grab up those work order, go in here and get every single node that was available. And it's and the cave is pretty full because it was maxed out. And anyway, so where I'm going with this is, so once a week I come in, collect everything, go back, sell it on the auction house, and make about 1,000 gold a week. Now it's not anything significant, but it was enough at the time to get that and then pass that off to one of my alts while I was leveling them up. Which, of course, as I was doing that, you know, when you're just questing and saving gold, it just kind of solves itself. But I know there's a lot of conversation about the validity of the Garrison, and there wasn't so much customization, but the functionality of what, I mean, this is just me, the functionality of the Garrison based on, especially when the expansion of the time, getting this thing built up, and you can still swap out because I don't even think I put the stables in because I haven't even done any of the small quests or whoops, forgot what was back here. Nothing. It's coming back over here to the table, and yeah, so my herb garden was level 3. I was up to 21 work orders. The mine was level 3. Alchemy lab, I was actually still pulling stuff off the alchemy lab and selling that on the auction house. Tannery, I don't do too much anymore. I swapped out for the trading post, and then I swapped something out for. Yeah, I never did finish up the fishing stuff. Swap something else out. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was the trading house or the barn. One of the two that you can start. Oh, probably the enables the capture and trading of special mounts. That's right. So I haven't even done this one yet, so I could still swap this out and spend time going back and getting some mounts.
What can I help you with?
Who do I talk to again about?
Hi. Keep your feet on the ground.
And there was the pet battle dailies, which I've almost won a couple times.
Good day to you.
Which one's this one? Oh yeah.
Safe travels.
I got a bad feeling. You wouldn't want to see me when I'm angry.
And I haven't done too much of the battle pet stuff. I mean, I got some here and there. I got, you know, some cool stuff. So that was the cool thing about getting or starting at the hunter was pets. Excuse me. All right, let us. This is some of the stuff I should start working on. So we'll go back and oh, and then the shipyard. Forgot about that too. That was always a fun thing to work on. I don't remember this. Oh yeah, I do. That's right. We did some stuff, helped him out, and then he.
Well met. Light bless you.
Any case, just another small. Oh, I know why I put the trade house in here, so I could have access to the bank or the guild bank.
Great to meet you.
There we go. I can see this is all changed too. This kind of threw me off when I first got back in and went down to the bank in Dornogol, and I thought, what happened to the bags? And it looks like everything's been still figuring out what all this is about. But it almost seems like I don't have everything, but I know I do at the same time because I counted the slots. I'm like, okay, I know I have everything. And I kept a lot of stuff that just has absolutely less than no relevancy, like the old blinding powder. Who remembers using that like 18 some odd years ago, right? And I've got some of this is just more like nostalgic, like Tibu's blazing longsword, because that just was, you know, because that's all that looked like. But that was like, you know, hot stuff back in the day. And all these bags, and then I have all my tabards. Kept the pilgrim stuff, and oh yeah, I kept these just because they look pretty legit, which I'm sure I might be able to at this point, but it's just I could probably do it through transmog, but just kind of having some of this stuff. Oh man, the timber maws. That feels like that was forever ago. That's right. I did a early quest, got the whole draconian armor thing. I even kept the fishing rod that lets you breathe underwater. I think that was when you reached Exalted with the Walrus people. I forget who they are. That goes back to Wrath of the Lich King. But in any case, so you got a fishing rod, and when you equipped it, it allowed you to breathe underwater, which really comes in handy keeping that thing. So now I use that primarily with the old rogue. I kept some of these books and these adventure guides. I think I even kept a oh, the baby spice. Oh yeah, the portals to Revendreth and Orbos. Kept that. Kept a couple of those just in case. I even have, if I can find it. I've got that orb. Or I used to anyway. It was that orb something, and it transformed you into what looked like a horde character. I don't think I got rid of that. Tuskar, that's who it is. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, the thieves tool. You had to have that way back when to be able to actually pick locks. I, kept that. And I hang on to like the kegs, and I've got the keg pony and all that for like those little like weird party get-togethers in certain cities and stuff. And I'll just show up and like put everything out like like a lot of other people do, which is always fun to do. What was that invitation? Oh, that RSVP. Oh, that's right, the Ember Court. That's what it is in Revendreth. That was a weekly thing that I wanted to go back and start working on again. The old supply kit. All right, well, I guess that orb thing I don't have anymore. I kept one of my the Pandaren noodle cart kit. So when the Mist of Pandaria came out, they had that garden that you could keep. That was a once a week kind of thing. And of course, I like the cooking. When they always kept that up. So anyway, part of the Pandera, when you were working your way up with cooking and you had that assistant and you could send them off to get leveled up, was the noodle cart. And that was the big thing for like when you were doing dungeons and raids and all that kind of deal, which is pretty neat. And that was then it was tricky because you needed a lot of resources to get that up and running. Oh, the Kingslayers. I remember that. And this is just a face mask that I had. One of these you had to have to be able to actually, I think you had to have the blinding powder to actually do that as a rogue, and then you had to have something else that could actually disappear. I think it was that one. If you wanted to stealth out, you needed a thing to do that as well. The old Savage Feast. Oh my goodness. So one of the things I always made a good habit of doing was anytime when they started doing like even with dungeons, but mainly dungeons, but when they started doing the looking for raid options in Warcraft, so I was sure that I made sure I went in with I always try to work the feasts and always be somebody that was in there ready to drop one, ready to go, regardless of whatever resources. And sometimes they were cool enough I just kind of hang on to those too. Like down here, I've got just a little bit of stuff for me, at least at the time. So that and this stuff, because again, I like the cooking aspect of it. I thought I had a couple feasts when it was the old. Oh, the good old simple stew. But yeah, cooking has been a huge thing. Oh, I wish, okay, if Blizzard sees this, I'm sure you guys have gotten this a million times over, but bring back a aspect of archaeology into the new, or into the expansions would be awesome. I actually go back, I did for a little bit, went back to some of the old sites and so that archaeology, when that hit during Cataclysm, that was my like my main focus for a while. And yeah, when that kicked off, and I think I think the last one I could get was the Draenor, but I absolutely love that. That was definitely one of those. Took a deep dive into it, and I got a couple titles, and I mean everything that it's nothing that anybody else wouldn't have gotten, but it was just incredibly fun. Of course, now I forget where. Oh, there we go. So that's something else that I definitely want to. And see, that's the other cool thing about Warcraft is you can go back and do stuff. Even though the game has continued to move forward, you can still go into areas and still keep doing stuff. Like if you want to do fishing stuff, or you want to do professions, or you want to work on archaeology, or getting mounts. That's actually what I was able to do. Like new expansion comes out, you go back to a previous expansion or 2 expansions prior, you go in, you can start collecting mounts again. And that gave me like a great opportunity to get a few more. But yeah, this was definitely something fun to get in on. I didn't have that much stuff. Just, again, a lot of the regular, anybody else would get it. 5/19/2014. Man. That seems like forever ago. 2011. Because Cataclysm came out when I was still in the military. I was stationed at Fort Riley. And I remember being able to start. That was one of the few expansions I was able to start right when it came out, because I missed Wrath of the Lich King. And I think, yeah, Cataclysm was the next one after that. But I missed Wrath, so I had to do a lot of catch up with the Crusade stuff, which was fun. And then when Cataclysm came out, I was able to start doing that when it was released. And I remember that first night, it's like everybody's in there trying to get this stuff done. 2011. Man, that was 15 years ago already. That is crazy. Let's see, what was I doing? 2014. Oh, I was overseas. Still, I was working. Oh, that's right. I was working my first embassy contract, and I had my laptop with me, and we had internet in a sense of the word. And then that was 2014, 2015, and that's when it's somewhere in there. That's when Warlords came out, Draenor. And I remember, 2016 was when I was back in country. So again, it's kind of like the progression of, even though things were kind of moving forward, I was still working on stuff periodically. I'm trying to find 2011, because that was about let's see, I got out June of 2012. There it is, 2000. There we go, December 2010. Man, that's 16 years ago just for that one. I haven't had a chance to really go down memory lane too much, so it's just interesting where Warcraft is it's always been there in different pockets of where my life was before the military, after the military, working as a contractor, doing that for a number of years, the constant trips back and forth. And that's where I missed out on Legion and Battle for Azeroth. I mean, I knew they were out, but didn't have a chance to really do anything with them, because that was the intensity dial had cranked up a little bit at that point from going back and forth and training and programs and everything else. So just kind of had to sit on the sidelines for for a little while. And then when Shadowlands came out, by the time Shadowlands came out, I was pretty much done with that side of the house, and I was just doing training here in country. And then I was able to start Shadowlands right when it kicked off, or I was maybe a few weeks after, but it was like right about there. And then segue to Dragonflight. And then Dragonflight is where I started being able to build my alts. Oh yeah, let's get back to, I want to get back to housing. And it's amazing still having, all the time that Warcraft has been out, and if you have an account, everything that you've done has kind of followed you over the years, and not even just a couple. I mean, it's been, for some people since day one vanilla, for people like myself, just a few months before Burning Crusade, and then for people just jumping on now, and this is another thing that I've seen over the last couple of years. It's can you get into Warcraft as a new player? Well, absolutely you can. It's not designed to be only for someone who, played 20 some odd years ago when it first came out. And just to emphasize again, I missed all of Legion and Battle for Azeroth, but I jumped in on, being able to. Now, what I did do, and I don't mean to jump around a lot, but what I was able to do when I was building my alts is I took one alt and went back to Legion, and then worked my way up and maxed out the level before I had to go back to Dragonflight, and then I completed all that stuff all over again because of the storyline. And then same thing with Battle for Azeroth. And one of those two is where you could, you did that massively long quest line to get a special title, and that's the one I did with my Paladin, my Lightforged Draenei. So I got that I don't know if it'll show up here, but it was that weird paladin title. And it's interesting how the different titles show depending on what character you're playing. But oh yeah, the assistant professor and associate professor, and then the actual professor title, that was for the archaeology. I have to check anyway. So instead of letting that go to waste, I thought, okay, well, I can go back to Legion, kind of catch up a little bit, and see where that expansion was focusing attention, and then took another alt, and then went to started the Battle for Azeroth one, which I would have really enjoyed that one. I could already tell going through that would have been fun for me. And then maxed out the level before I had to go back to Dragonflight and start all that over again. And then went back to, I actually took another alt to the Shadowlands expansion and picked a different faction and worked up there because I really enjoyed how that expansion exposed you to all the different factions while you were finishing the quest storyline. So by the time you were done, you'd have a really good idea on which one you wanted to pick and why and all that stuff, which I thought was a pretty smart way of working that aspect of it. And then once that was done, so the point is, if you are a new player or even thinking about being, if you're like, do I really want to dive into this? Absolutely. There's no reason why you can't. There's an incredible selection of characters, the races, and then the professions and everything else. And there's so much stuff I haven't done that you can always go back and work on other things. Grab a couple buddies and just go back and, hey, let's tackle this dungeon or this raid and let's do this and that. There's so much to do. It's not like you get a new game and then a new version comes out a couple years later and then the servers shut down after a few months because they're not supporting that other version. This is a long-term investment, for lack of a better word, right? It's designed to be long-term and continuous. And of course, now you got classic, so you can go back to the vanilla stage or pre-cataclysm with everything. And I think they're still doing bringing out Pandera and all that. But that must have taken a bunch of extra resources to do. Like all of a sudden you're trying to, feed everything with the regular Warcraft series and StarCraft and everything else. And then you set aside people and design teams to recreate the entire classic experience. Totally forgot what I was doing now. Just so in the moment, right? But this is but kind of going back to where I was talking about, Wednesdays is going to be like the dedicated Warcraft night. If there is one particular game that is like my main, it's this one. All right, let's see what. I haven't done this yet. Actually, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, there's dungeons linked to this. All right, so these are the things I need to be spending a little bit more time with. Oh, you know what? Oh, the lumber thing. I was doing that over in man, there's a lot of stuff going on in Outland. I definitely need to go back to the Delves. We reached the end of the last Assistant Architect's course. This task can be completed once per day. Sky Gazebo reached. So I need to figure out where I even need to go. Who do I need to talk to? 60% off. No, I kind of figured that was going to happen, so I'm just since I haven't bothered to read or follow up on what exactly it is I'm supposed to be doing. Notification. I'll check it later. Check it later. All right. So just felt like doing a little cleanup. Time is it? Midnight on the dot. Okay.